What's up guys, Joey Cienzo here, X Zone Lures, and today I just wanted to introduce to you a new bait that we're coming out with. The dice style category is very popular among today's finesse fishermen. Within the Stealth Finesse series, the X Zone has dropped the GBO. You're gonna notice the shape immediately is a lot different than some of the other ones on the market, namely because it's more tapered. That tapered design is hydrodynamic in the water, which is gonna allow the angler to customize their fall rates, whether it be rigged down this way to fall faster or rigged from the top side or the fat side down to fall slower. Another thing is a lot of these dice style baits, they have 12 to 14 strands on them usually. We went with 10. Again, we wanted to be hydrodynamic in the water, give that angler a little bit more of a fall rate. So you can fish this in a little deeper water. You know, we're fishing this in 12 to 15 feet of water now, straight up nail weighted, and it's causing these more finicky fish to trigger. This shape also allows you to get the bait way away from the boat. That may not seem like a big deal if you're throwing it on a drop shot or you're throwing it on a weighted wacky head, but when you're throwing it very lightly nail weighted or wacky style, that extra 5 to 10 feet on a finicky fish, especially with today's forward-facing technology and how these fish are now feeling that beam, getting that bait way away from the boat and presenting it to them more natural is allowing us to have more success on the water. Another reason that this shape is really interesting and a little bit newer than most of the other ones on the market, it allows the angler to really customize their sink rate while they're on the water. If they want it to fall a little bit faster, again, we've designed it to be a little bit heavier, a little bit more hydrodynamic. So again, it's gonna fall a lot quicker in the water, but if that angler wants it to fall even faster, they can nail weight it in the bottom here. Another really cool thing about this design, since we've been fishing this design over the past like 3 years and developing this concept in the last couple years, we've noticed that your hookup ratios on other dice baits may not be as good all the time if those fish very finicky, nipping at the bait. We all get that. They're nipping at the strands. They don't get it all the way. And sometimes when you drive that hook home, a lot of the plastic is getting in the way. That's because that bait is falling and twisting all over. So that hook is never in the optimal hook setting area. With this style, we're rigging it here from the top down, that hook in a good hook setting position as it's falling. Another interesting fact about this bait is because it's shaped like this and because we actually increase that salt density, the bait's gonna be naturally a little bit heavier, which is gonna make it easier to cast into the wind. That's one of the main problems we've had with the dice baits on the market is when you get any sort of wind and you get it in above something that's not comfortable to cast very nail weighted baits, or if you're not using a wacky head, it's very, very hard to cast these very far from the boat. And when I mean very far, you're looking at 40 to 60 feet away from the boat. Traditional forward facing technology now has allowed these fish to actually stay further away from the boat. They're feeling that ping now. So we need to get it away from the boat. To be able to present this bait away from the boat is now something we need to do even better as anglers to get these finicky fish to trigger. With that shape, with that density, casting into the wind has never been easier. We're getting that on average now 50 to 60 feet into the wind, which is actually incredible for any of those nail weighted style baits. Even if you're going no nail weight in this and you're going just straight wacky, you're looking in around that 40, 45 foot range away from the boat on average from what I've tested. So it's really interesting how these little components all add up to the bigger scheme of trying to catch these very finicky fish. Another really cool thing at X Zone that we did was develop the sink rate. With that tapered design, the heavier density one, the salted one, is gonna be much easier to cast into the wind. We're talking on average between 50 and 60 feet away from the boat, whether you're going wacky or nail weighted when you're rigging it with the hook coming through the bottom. That's super key nowadays where you're getting the fish that are very pressured. Now these fish are starting to feel the forward facing sonar. So to get that bait away from the boat, present it a little more finessier, that longer casting distance is actually allowing us as anglers to catch more fish on the water.